Good morning, agents, and welcome to another daily episode of Targeted Loot today for September 17th. The series that shows you the Targeted Loot map and Targeted Loot highlights for the day, farming tips and tricks, the vendor reset highlights, and much more. I'm Agent Shadow, and if you enjoy my content, please consider smashing the subscribe and like buttons below. Also, you can check out the video description and pinned comment below for links to my new merch store, Shadow Gaming merch, my Discord server, Shadow Crew clan, and how to join a PC, Xbox, and PS4. And of course, the PS4 clan is doing the Dark Hours raid for the Eagle Bear Saturday and Sunday this weekend. So remember to hit up my Discord and let the clan leader and in the Shadow Crew clan know that you're going to want to do the raid this Saturday and Sunday for Dark Hours. And then we're also trying to do the same thing on PC and Xbox and get everyone together to do that stuff this weekend. So please get in the Discord and the Shadow Crew clan channel and just let us know what platform you're on and if you can do the raid this weekend. All right, let's get to the targeted loot. So let's get started with the Dark Zones first and the highlights from the Dark Zone vendors, then Washington, D.C., and finally New York City targeted loot highlights. So over in DZ West, we got Araldo Holdings. Now in the vendor, you have the Calibre, I think that's how you pronounce it, with perfect jazz hands. Shotgun, named shotgun with perfect jazz hands. And then Araldo Holdings, I wouldn't recommend farming for. There's no DZ exclusives. You got holsters in DZ South, so the Claws Out holster. If you want, I can show it to you really fast. Probably have it in my inventory already. Let's check that out. So there's 500% melee damage and then 10% pistol damage that it rolls with. And then of course in the DZ South vendor, you have the Zero F's chest piece with perfect unbreakable. You can get that rolled with armor, crit hit chance, and skill haste. So just roll that skill haste off for a DPS build. And then finally in DZ East, you got Petra Defense Group. Once again, no name DZ exclusive that I know about. But in the vendor, you can get the Hollow Man mask with armor, explosive resistance, and then damage to health. Alright, agents, here we are on the north side highlights. So Camp White Oak, which I believe, the invaded missions this week is Grand Washington Hotel, Viewpoint Museum, over here at American History Museum, and the District Union Arena is the Stronghold, and then of course Tidal Basin at the very end. So Alps Summit at Camp White Oak, you can get that 20% repair skills from the first bonus set. This is always good for healer builds. Like you usually want a chest piece with empathetic resolve, or you can get the percussive maintenance with perfect tech support backpack. But tech support is something that goes on like Wyvernware Hana U, so I don't normally recommend it. Chest pieces at Coney Island Ballpark. It's a Black Tusk invaded mission, or not invaded mission, but it's just Black Tusk mission. You can still get the tardigrade armor, but it has a less higher drop rate chance because it's not True Suns, but you're still able to get it through chest piece targeted loot. You got light machine guns at Coney Island Amusement Park. You can get the exotic Bullet King and Pestilence. You also got the Good Times with perfect fast hands. You got the new Reliable. You got all sorts of named ones. The Sleipnir, the Carnage with I think perfect Sadist, and then Mass at Many National Zoo. So you can get the Coyotes mask, the Vile mask, and the Punch Drunk mask, which gives you 20% headshot damage baked right into it. It goes great with a Dodge City holster build, or like a perfect Headhunter, Chain Killer, chest piece headshot build. Alright, agents, now we're over on the west side. Let's do the west side highlights. So assault rifles at West End area. You got 3 control points here to farm. Of course, you got plenty of bounties, I'm sure, too. Oh yeah, plenty of them. So you can get the named Chameleon exotic assault rifle, although it's more of an SMG. It's technically an assault rifle in this game. You can also get the Burnout, that's the named FAMAS, which gives you, I think, 45% weapon handling after you reload. And then, of course, you can get the Maniac named AK, military AKM. That has, I want to say that has perfectly on empty or something like that. It's a pretty cool gun. And then, of course, the Mechanical Animal with Future Perfection. That's always good for skill builds and even some DPS builds because it raises your skill tier up 3 times if you're not at skill tier 6, which it gives you overcharge. And then the top tier assault rifles would be the FAMAS. My favorite right now is the military AKM. Carbine 7, Police M4, G36s. Those are really, really top tier assault rifles for sure. And then Mass again at Downtown West if you just want to do open world instead of over here at Manning National Zoo. So that's nice. There's the second one. You got knee pads at Bank HQ. The Ninja Bike Messenger knee pads. That's 25% extra bonus armor. And then it instantly reloads the weapon that you're holding at the time of the vault to vault or cover. or cover to cover and vault. Now that's going to be popular with the backfire SMG coming on September 22nd with TU11, because it makes you bleed every time you reload. So if you could skip the reload and the bleed resistance mods aren't going to go to 20%, they're going to stay at 10%. You're probably going to want to wear those with the, I don't know, it sucks because you want to wear the Memento backpack with the 4-piece Hunter's Fury, but some people might go with Ninja Bike instead to avoid that bleed. And then of course you get the Fox's spare knee pads with that 8% damage to targets out of cover, multiplicative damage, especially mixed with the 10% damage to targets out of cover you can get on your weapons. That is the best way to build DPS, is crit chance to 60%, then crit damage, and then stack the Fox's spare knee pads damage targets out of cover with your weapon. We got Providence Defense at Potomac Event Center, so you have to sacrifice the perfect glass cannon or just try to get the best rolls possible for your DPS builds that have 3 pieces of Providence Defense on it. Legendary loot this week, we got gear system mods at Roosevelt Island, we got submachine guns at District Union Arena, and Wyvernware at Capitol Building. There's actually some really good stuff here for sure to farm, like submachine guns. You get the Lady Death, which, you know, isn't that great on Legendary, but you can get like a good Vector variant or an MPX, the Safety Distance, the Perfect Outsider, or Swap Chain. Those things would be worth farming. And of course, Wyvernware, if you can get a good chest piece with like kinetic momentum on it. There's a lot of good talents you can get on it, but that's my favorite one for skill builds, for skill damage. You can get one with glass cannon on it if that's what you prefer. I would definitely farm Wyvernware at Capitol Building Legendary loot if you need some better Wyvernware for your skill builds this week. And then we got gear sets at Tidal Basin, anything with System Corruption, which is DZ exclusive, and then the Foundry Bulwark, Future Initiative chest and backpack pieces are still raid exclusives, so those are just the only things you can't get. Otherwise, everything's gear sets for sure. Grupo Sombra over here at the Pentagon, 1 piece for DPS builds, 2 pieces for skill explosive damage builds, and then holsters at DARPA. So you can get the Forge holster, which gives you 50% extra shield health, and of course that's like 1 extra skill tier for your shield. You can also get the Imperial Dynasty holster, which is definitely worth getting. I have it on one of my builds and I absolutely love it. Hanyu at Constitutional Hall, so you get the Force Multiplier backpack with perfect combined arms. Shooting an enemy increases total skill damage by 30% by 3 seconds. Always try to get that with skill haste and then skill damage. And then this will be a generic mod slot you can put any sort of utility mod slot into as soon as TU11 drops. So it's definitely worth that. Alright, agents, now we're over at the east side before we get to New York City last. Got Golong Gear at Downtown East. You could do the Demolition Site XP farm. I'll put the video in the top right card right now on how to do that. For that 10% extra status effects, try to get that mixed with 4 pieces of Eclipse Protocol, and then of course like an Imperial Dynasty or Vial mask. That's a really good build right there for sure. You always want Golong Gear with status effects, and you have 2 places to farm it for, East Mall as well, with these 4 control points. You got shotguns at American History Museum, so that's the Sweet Dreams exotic shotgun, plus the Marine Super 90 and the Custom M870 are the top tier shotguns. You got rifles at Jefferson Plaza, so you can go ahead and get the Diamondback and Merciless exotics, plus like a good M1A or M1A CQB, maybe even an MK17. Really, it's up to you and your personal preference, although the classic M1A is still probably the best rifle in the game. Keep in mind the best damage talents for it. I always go with Boomerang or Ranger, and then of course Rifleman if you're just really good with headshots. Or you can get the Baker's Dozen, which is the named M1A, classic M1A, and that gives you perfect lucky shot. We got gloves at Southwest. You can get the BTSU gloves. None of these are Black Tusk, but it's alright. You can even find a Black Tusk bounty if you want, just to increase your chances a little bit for the drop rate chance for the BTSU gloves. But they'll always drop from gloves targeted loot. It's just a higher drop chance from Black Tusk. And then the Contractor's gloves with 8% damage to armor. You can run that with your LMG build. I really wouldn't recommend it on just a standard DPS build with no LMG though. Just keep that in mind for sure. And then yeah, that looks just about it. If you were farming for the Punch Drunk mask with that 20% headshot damage baked in, I would farm Federal Triangle for Douglas and Harding. It'll lower the loot pool of what you're trying to get instead of farming masks where you have 3 different ones you can get. So definitely try to do Douglas and Harding for that one. All right, let's go check out targeted loot for New York City, and then I'll let you guys go. Alright, agents, and finally we got the New York City highlights. So we got Sokolov Concern at the Tombs. You can get that if you have it running an SMG. So, you replace Providence Defense with Sokolov Concern, 3 pieces if you're ever running an SMG. Walker Harrison Co. you can farm for the Matador backpack with Perfect Adrenaline Rush, which I guess is also a Light Zone, not DZ exclusive, but I still feel like it's a DZ exclusive. But people are telling me that they haven't even been in the Dark Zone, and they've gotten it. And I've gotten it from Targeted Loot rewards, just not from a drop. You can also get the Perfect Headhunter chest piece, Chain Killer. So those are 2 really good items to get for sure. Badger Tough, you can farm the 0F's chest piece of Perfect Unbreakable. And then of course you can get Overlord Ornaments at Wall Street because you can get the Fox's pair knee pads. That's better than farming for knee pads for sure, so I would check that out. And Wall Street has a chance to drop the Bullet King from the last boss, so that's a 2-for-1 deal right there as well. And then pistols in Financial District and Liberty Island, you can farm those for like D50s. If you have a Liberty, you could farm pistol Targeted Loot to get a Liberty, but I don't recommend it. I would just do the quest line. That's about it. Alright, agents, well that was the Targeted Loot for today. Thank you so much for watching, and be sure to subscribe and like if you enjoyed my content. Click the join button below to further my support and my dream of being a full-time content creator, and check out the Discord and clan in the pinned comment below. Take care, agents, and be sure to stay tuned for more daily videos and much more. This is Agent Shadow signing off. I'll see you in the next video.